Welcome back. We've explored the structural guidelines for great prompts, and we've dived deep into the power of verbs, the engines of our sentences. Now, it's time to add color, texture, and depth. It's time to talk about adjectives. If verbs are the engine, adjectives are the paint job, the interior design, the features that make a car truly special. Think of your prompts as a tapestry. Verbs provide the strong threads that hold everything together. But adjectives are the colors, the patterns, the intricate details that bring the whole picture to life. They allow you to weave a rich tapestry of insight and imagination. Strategic use of adjectives helps you illuminate the most important points, sculpt the desired response, and enrich every narrative you create with the AI. They turn a basic sketch into a masterpiece. So, why dedicate an entire session to adjectives? Because they are the essence of descriptive language. In prompt engineering, selecting the precise adjective is essential for painting vivid mental pictures for the AI. If you ask for a feature, you'll get a generic response. But if you ask for a user-centric, innovative feature, you've just guided the AI's entire thought process. Adjectives evoke emotions, mold perceptions, and add layers of nuance. They transform a simple request into a rich, detailed brief that invites exploration and elicits far more nuanced and valuable responses. Just as we did with verbs, we're going to organize our journey by the type of thinking we want to unlock. We'll see how adjectives can sharpen our analysis, kindle our creativity, bridge communication gaps, reinforce ethical awareness, and map our journey of growth. For each category, we'll explore how the right descriptive words can add precision, vibrancy, and depth, helping you craft prompts that don't just ask questions, but set a whole scene and guide the AI toward a richer, more insightful response. Let's start with the first category, analyzing and solving. When you're facing a complex problem, you need to see it clearly. Adjectives are the tools that sharpen your perception. They help you dissect complex issues and craft precise solutions. By adding descriptive words like meticulous, systematic, or critical to your prompts, you're telling the AI to bring that same level of detail and rigor to its analysis. You're not just asking for a solution, you're asking for a carefully considered, examined one. Within analysis, we have analytical and critical thinking adjectives. These are the words you use when you need to dig deep, evaluate evidence, and weave together disparate insights. Words like insightful, meticulous, and systematic. Imagine asking for an insightful market analysis versus a basic one. The adjective alone changes the entire expectation. It tells the AI to go beyond surface, level data, and find the hidden patterns and meaningful conclusions. It's a small word with a huge impact on the depth of the response. Let's see how these play out in specific roles. For a business analyst, using the adjective astute in a prompt for market analysis tells the AI to look for subtle trends and opportunities, not just obvious ones. For a data scientist, asking for an analytical approach to a dataset demands a rigorous, methodical examination. And for a financial analyst, a rational evaluation of investment options insists on logic and solid metrics, not gut feelings. The adjective sets the standard for the quality of thought you expect from the AI. Here's a practical example for a product owner. A prompt might be create a robust, user-focused backlog that prioritizes innovative features. Look at those three adjectives: robust, user-focused, innovative. Robust tells the AI the backlog needs to be solid and well prepared for change. User-focused centers the entire development process around the customer. And innovative pushes for features that differentiate the product in the market. Without those adjectives, the prompt is flat. With them, it's a clear, multi-dimensional instruction. Next are comparative and persuasive adjectives. These are your tools for influence. When you need to build a compelling argument or sway an opinion, words like convincing, superior, and unmatched are invaluable. They add weight and urgency to your prompts. For instance, asking for a convincing business case tells the AI to focus on logic, evidence, and emotional appeal. Asking for a superior solution demands that the AI not just find an answer, but find the best answer and be prepared to defend it. For a sales manager, using persuasive in a pitch prompt ensures the AI generates language that converts leads. For a UX designer, engaging in a design prompt focuses the AI on capturing and holding user attention. For a content writer, informative and concise work together to ensure the content is both valuable and easily digestible. Each of these adjectives guides the AI to tailor its output for maximum impact on its intended audience, whether that's a customer, a user, or a stakeholder. Consider this prompt for a product manager. Justify a compelling, competitive advantage for our new feature set in the market analysis report. The adjectives compelling and competitive are doing important work. Compelling demands that the justification be engaging and difficult to ignore. Competitive forces the AI to constantly compare the feature set to rivals, highlighting what makes it unique and superior. The prompt isn't just asking for a list of features, it's asking for a strategic, market-facing argument. Now we move into a more specialized area, technical and analytical adjectives. These are for when you need in-depth technical understanding and analytical precision. Words like systematic, complex, and algorithmic set the tone for a deep technical dive. They tell the AI to engage its specialized knowledge and approach the problem with the rigor of an engineer or a scientist. If you're asking for a systematic code review, you're not looking for a quick glance, you're looking for a methodical line-by-line examination. A software developer benefits from prompts asking for efficient code and logical debugging processes. A network engineer needs to design robust and secure infrastructures. A cybersecurity analyst must be vigilant in threat monitoring and systematic in vulnerability assessments. Each of these adjectives is a directive that elevates the quality and focus of the AI's output, ensuring it meets the high standards of a technical domain. They're not just descriptive, they're prescriptive. Look at this prompt for a software developer. Implement a robust, scalable solution for the new user authentication module. Robust tells the AI the solution must be reliable and handle errors gracefully. Scalable demands that the solution can grow with increasing user demand. These two adjectives alone communicate a whole set of non-functional requirements. Without them, the AI might produce a solution that works for 10 users but fails for 10,000. The adjectives define the standard of quality. Next, we have problem, solving, and resolution adjectives. These are the words you use when you're facing an obstacle and need a clear path forward. Words like practical, innovative, and resolute. They emphasize the effectiveness and creativity of the solutions you're seeking. Asking for a practical fix tells the AI to prioritize feasibility. Asking for an innovative solution encourages out-of-the-box thinking. These adjectives guide the AI from simply identifying a problem to charting a course toward a solution. For an operations manager, streamlined and proactive are key. They demand efficiency and forward thinking and process improvements. For a customer support representative, empathetic and patient are crucial for de-escalating issues and building trust. For an IT support specialist, diagnostic and innovative guide the troubleshooting process. Each role has its own set of problem-solving adjectives that tailor the AI's approach to the specific challenge at hand. Here's a great example for a product owner. Prioritize user stories in the backlog that address urgent, high-impact issues first. The adjectives urgent and high-impact create a clear prioritization framework. Urgent marks the issues that need immediate attention. High-impact identifies those that will deliver the most significant benefit. Together, they give the AI a simple but powerful rule to apply when sorting through a long list of potential work. It turns a subjective decision into a clear, adjective-driven process. Finally, in our analytical toolkit, we have decision, making, and strategic planning adjectives. These are for the big picture. Words like strategic, deliberate, and foresighted, they highlight the thoughtful, long-term thinking required for effective planning. When you ask for a strategic roadmap, you're telling the AI to consider not just the next step, but the step after that, and the one after that. You're asking for a plan that is coherent and aligned with long-term goals, not just a list of immediate tasks. A chief information officer needs a visionary, IT strategy that propels the organization forward. A human resources director needs innovative, talent acquisition strategies to attract top talent. A supply chain manager needs agile strategies to adapt to market changes. Each of these adjectives, visionary, innovative, agile, sets a high bar for the AI's output. They demand that the plan be not just functional, but forward-thinking and competitive. Consider this prompt for a product owner: craft a visionary, coherent product strategy that ensures scalable growth. Visionary encourages the AI to think big and set ambitious goals. Coherent ensures that the strategy is logical and easy for all stakeholders to understand. And scalable demands that the strategy can accommodate growth without breaking. These three adjectives work together to define the complete set of qualities a great product strategy should have. They're not just describing the strategy, they're defining it. Now let's open the second major drawer, creating and imagining. This is where adjectives act as catalysts for creativity. They're the sparks that ignite the flames of innovation and vision. When you need to generate groundbreaking concepts or explore uncharted ideas, you need adjectives that open up possibilities. Words like imaginative, visionary, and unprecedented give the AI permission to break free from conventional patterns and explore a world of endless possibilities. Within the creative category, we have creative and generative adjectives. These are for when you want to illuminate discussions with vivid imagination and fresh perspectives. Words like innovative, imaginative, and original. If you ask the AI to suggest innovative features, you're telling it to look beyond the obvious and find solutions that are new and different. If you ask for an imaginative marketing campaign, you're inviting storytelling and creative flair. These adjectives are the keys to unlocking the AI's creative potential. A product designer uses intuitive and innovative to create products that are both easy to use and groundbreaking. An Agile coach uses adaptive and inspirational to guide teams toward new ways of working. A marketing specialist crafts engaging and creative content that stands out in a crowded field. Each of these adjectives shapes the AI's creative direction, ensuring that its output is not just novel, but also purposeful and effective for its specific domain. Here's a prompt for a UX designer: design an intuitive, engaging user interface that fosters creative interaction. The adjectives intuitive and engaging set the core user experience goals. Intuitive ensures the interface is easy to learn. Engaging ensures it's enjoyable to use. And the verb fosters, combined with the adjective creative, tells the AI to design an environment that encourages users to interact in novel ways. The prompt isn't just describing the UI, it's describing the user's experience of the UI. Closely related are innovative and ideation adjectives. These are for the process of generating and refining groundbreaking ideas. Words like visionary, groundbreaking, and inventive. They propel forward, thinking, and cultivate inventive solutions. When you ask for a visionary product roadmap, you're asking the AI to project into the future and imagine what could be. When you ask for a groundbreaking solution, you're challenging it to think of something that has never been done before. An innovation manager needs a forward, thinking mindset to foster new ideas. A UI designer uses aesthetic and user-centric to create visually appealing and functional designs. A business development manager needs strategic and persuasive skills to cultivate innovative partnerships. Each of these adjectives pushes the AI to operate at the edge of what's currently possible, to think about what could be, not just what is. Consider this prompt for a product owner: envision a disruptive, user-centric product roadmap that revolutionizes the market. Disruptive is a powerful adjective that challenges the status quo. User-centric keeps the focus on customer needs, and revolutionizes sets an ambitious goal for the scale of change. This prompt doesn't just ask for a plan, it asks for a plan that will fundamentally change the market. The adjectives create a vision of bold, transformative innovation. Our third category is communicating and collaborating. These adjectives are about refining how we interact with others. They help us articulate concepts clearly, resonate with our peers, and unite in collective action. In Agile, where teamwork is everything, these adjectives are essential for ensuring that every interaction contributes to a positive and effective team dynamic. Words like clear, engaging, and supportive set the tone for collaboration. First, we have explanatory and informative adjectives. These enrich your communication with precision and clarity. Words like detailed, lucid, and comprehensive. When you ask for a detailed report, you're telling the AI to include all the relevant information. When you ask for a lucid explanation of a complex topic, you're asking for clarity and accessibility. These adjectives ensure that information is not just shared, but truly understood. A technical writer needs clear and concise documentation. A product owner uses articulate and descriptive language to craft user stories. A Scrum Master facilitates transparent and engaging ceremonies. A QA engineer writes detailed bug reports and objective test plans. Each of these adjectives ensures that the information being conveyed is fit for its purpose, understandable, actionable, and free from ambiguity. They are the adjectives of effective knowledge transfer. For a developer, a great explanatory prompt is draft: a precise, elucidating, and accessible explanation of the new feature's technical requirements. Precise ensures accuracy. Elucidating demands that the explanation shed light on complex aspects. And accessible requires that it be understandable to all team members, regardless of their technical expertise. These three adjectives work together to create a communication that is accurate, illuminating, and inclusive. Next are social and interpersonal adjectives. These enhance the human dynamics of teamwork. Words like engaging, approachable, and cooperative. They underscore the importance of positive social exchanges. When you ask for an engaging workshop, you're telling the AI to design an experience that captures attention and encourages participation. When you ask for a cooperative team culture, you're focusing on mutual support and shared effort. These adjectives build the soft skills into your prompts. An Agile coach uses empathetic and motivational language to support teams. A business analyst needs to be collaborative and adaptive when gathering requirements. A project manager uses influential and diplomatic communication with stakeholders. A team lead is supportive and relational in one-on-ones. These adjectives guide the AI to generate responses that build relationships, foster trust, and create a positive and productive team environment. For an Agile coach, a powerful prompt is facilitate a respectful, empathetic, and inclusive workshop to improve team dynamics. Respectful sets a standard for dignity. Empathetic encourages understanding of personal experiences. And inclusive ensures every team member feels valued. These adjectives don't just describe the workshop, they define its core values. They guide the AI to design an experience that is not just productive, but also humane and psychologically safe. A specialized and deeply important group is emotional intelligence and empathy adjectives. These are for when you need to navigate feelings, morale, and human experience. Words like compassionate, intuitive, and perceptive. They help us connect on a deeper level. When you ask for a compassionate response to a team setback, you're telling the AI to prioritize emotional support. These adjectives bring a crucial layer of humanity to our AI interactions. An HR manager uses compassionate and empathetic approaches in employee relations. A team facilitator is mindful and perceptive of team dynamics. A customer success manager is understanding and patient with client needs. A Scrum Master is tactful and attentive in retrospectives. Each of these adjectives ensures that the AI's output considers the emotional context and treats people with the care and respect they deserve. For an engineering manager, a prompt with emotional intelligence is communicate feedback with a constructive, empathetic, and respectful manner to foster team improvement. Constructive ensures the feedback is aimed at growth. Empathetic demands it be delivered with an understanding of the recipient's feelings. And respectful maintains their dignity and motivation. This prompt doesn't just ask for feedback, it asks for feedback that builds people up, even when pointing out areas for improvement. Now we have directive and instructional adjectives. These are for when you need to guide actions and decision, making with authority and precision. Words like explicit, instructive, and methodical. They provide unambiguous directions and outline clear procedural steps. When you ask for an explicit set of guidelines, you're telling the AI to leave no room for interpretation. When you ask for a methodical approach, you're demanding a step-by-step, well-organized process. A training coordinator uses structured and clarifying language in educational materials. A product manager provides prescriptive and focused feature specifications. A technical lead is authoritative, yet instructive in code reviews. An Agile coach is guiding in educational and methodology training. These adjectives establish a clear leader, follower or teacher, student dynamic, ensuring that instructions are followed accurately and effectively. For a Scrum Master, a directive prompt is establish clear, concise, and actionable guidelines for the sprint execution process. Clear eliminates ambiguity. Concise keeps the team focused on essentials. And actionable ensures that every guideline can be directly implemented. These three adjectives transform a vague request for rules into a powerful set of instructions that will actually guide team behavior and improve performance. Finally, in our communication category, we have collaborative and team-oriented adjectives. These underscore the spirit of unity and shared purpose. Words like unified, synergistic, and cooperative, they highlight the effectiveness of working together. When you ask for a unified team vision, you're asking for something everyone can get behind. When you ask for a synergistic effort, you're looking for work where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Cross-functional team members need to be cooperative and integrative. A DevOps engineer seeks seamless and unified collaboration and incident response. A QA specialist provides supportive and constructive feedback. These adjectives guide the AI to generate outputs that promote harmony, leverage diverse expertise, and focus on collective achievement over individual effort. They are the language of teamwork. For a product owner, a collaborative prompt is craft a shared, transparent, and cooperative roadmap that reflects the team's collective vision and goals. Shared emphasizes mutual ownership. Transparent demands open communication about decisions. And cooperative ensures the process values everyone's input. This prompt doesn't ask for a roadmap from the product owner. It asks for a roadmap that is built with the entire team. The adjectives shift the entire dynamic from directive to collaborative. Our fourth major category is respecting and acting. This is about ethics, cultural awareness, and integrity. These adjectives help us navigate a diverse world with sensitivity and principle. Words like inclusive, ethical, and respectful. They guide our prompts and the AI's responses to consider the wider human impact of our work. In a globalized world, these adjectives are not optional. They are essential for building products and teams that are fair, just, and welcoming to all. Specifically, we have cultural and ethical awareness adjectives. These underscore the significance of cultural sensitivity and ethical conduct. Words like respectful, ethical, and inclusive. When you ask for an inclusive design, you're telling the AI to consider users of all abilities and backgrounds. When you ask for an ethical approach to data collection, you're setting a moral boundary. These adjectives build responsibility and global awareness directly into your prompts. A diversity and inclusion officer needs inclusive and culturally sensitive training programs. A global project manager must be adaptable and respectful of cultural differences. A chief ethics officer ensures principled and transparent decision-making. An HR specialist uses fair and understanding practices in recruitment. Each of these adjectives guides the AI to produce work that is not just effective, but also ethical and respectful of the diverse world we live in. Consider this prompt for a product owner: integrate inclusive, respectful, and ethical considerations into the product design to ensure it serves a diverse user base. Inclusive demands the product be accessible to all. Respectful requires cultural sensitivity. And ethical ensures the development process itself is morally sound. These three adjectives don't just describe the final product, they define the values that must guide its entire creation. It's a prompt that builds ethics into the foundation of the work. Our final category is learning and growing. These adjectives are all about self-improvement, skill acquisition, and introspection. They help us articulate our journey of growth. Words like insightful, reflective, and progressive, they transform prompts into tools for personal and professional development, helping us and the AI focus on becoming better, not just on getting things done. First, we have learning and development adjectives. These illuminate the path of growth and discovery. Words like insightful, adept, and proficient. When you ask for an insightful analysis of your own work, you're asking for deep, meaningful feedback. When you ask for help becoming more adept at a skill, you're asking for a learning path. These adjectives turn the AI into a personal coach, focused on your continuous improvement. An Agile trainer uses educational and interactive methods to teach. A software developer is inquisitive and progressive in learning new technologies. A Scrum Master is observant and supportive in developing their team. A product owner is strategic and analytical in learning from market trends. Each of these adjectives frames the AI's role as a partner in growth, helping individuals and teams build new capabilities and deepen their expertise. For a Scrum Master, a learning-focused prompt is: implement a feedback-driven, enlightening, and skill-enhancing sprint review process. Feedback-driven ensures the process is grounded in real-world input. Enlightening aims to provide valuable insights, not just data. And skill-enhancing focuses on the team's growth. This prompt transforms a simple meeting into a powerful engine for team development. The adjectives define the quality of the learning experience. Finally, we have reflective and introspective adjectives. These are for the quiet, deep work of self-examination. Words like thoughtful, introspective, and insightful. They encourage a profound exploration of internal landscapes. When you ask for a thoughtful review of your own decisions, you're asking for considered, deliberate analysis. When you ask for an introspective look at your communication style, you're inviting self-awareness. These adjectives are the keys to wisdom, not just knowledge. A team lead uses reflective and self-aware approaches in performance reviews. A QA analyst is critical and meticulous in post-release analysis. A UX designer is introspective and empathetic in design thinking. A business analyst is analytical and objective in reviewing requirements. Each of these adjectives guides the AI to help us look inward, learn from our experiences, and grow from our insights. For a product owner, a reflective prompt is: engage in a thoughtful, self-critical analysis of the product's market fit and future direction. Thoughtful encourages deep consideration. Self-critical promotes honest reflection on past decisions, including mistakes. This isn't about self-flagellation, it's about learning. It's about using the AI as a mirror to honestly assess where you've been, so you can make better decisions about where you're going. That's the power of reflective adjectives. As we conclude, remember that adjectives are far more than just decorative words. They are the essence that brings clarity to our ideas and depth to our interactions. They shape perception and drive action. So, embrace the full spectrum of adjectives. Engage with each word's unique potential. Explore the vast landscapes of language. Experiment with combinations that challenge convention. And evolve with every prompt you write, refining your ability to inspire change and foster understanding. Adjectives are your palette. Paint something amazing. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the power of adjectives. We've now completed our trilogy, we've mastered the structural guidelines, harnessed the power of verbs, and learned to paint with adjectives. You now have a complete toolkit for crafting prompts that are not just functional, but truly exceptional. I encourage you to experiment. Take a prompt you use regularly and enrich it with a carefully chosen adjective. See how the AI's response deepens and transforms. Happy prompting.